Hunters might not be able to die with these Arc 3.0 changes. Also, some pieces of their new kit might be useless. I dissected the Arc 3.0 article and found some interesting things that we need to think about. I'm also going to show an endgame comparison of Arc as it is now and theorize with you if Arc 3.0 can really make it for hunters in the hardest content in Destiny. I'll also be talking about PvP too, so don't worry. Before getting too deep into thinking about Arc 3.0, I made the best PvE Arc build I could in current pre-Arc 3.0 days, and I spent a few hours in Grandmaster and Master Nightfalls solo, and it didn't go so well. And by that I mean I was trying to use a mix of the normal super safe gameplay that those modes usually require of you, but also trying to use the build for what it's meant to do, which is one-shot everything with a melee ability and try to stay alive. GMs were honestly too much. It didn't matter that I had 3 kinds of resist and 2 kinds of healing, basically always active, a melee resist mod, 100 resilience, the striking light mod that gives resist while sprinting, health regen from combination blow, melee hits, health chunks from final blows with Liar's Handshake. Now, I'm not the most hardcore or talented Destiny gamer, but I'm definitely somewhere up there, and it was hard. I never got past the opening of Proving Grounds. Master Nightfalls felt much better, but you still had a really hard time trying to do what your build wanted to do, instead of just poking everything with a scout rifle from a head glitch location a mile away. For some reason, I thought it wouldn't be this bad. Now, let's go over some of the important changes coming in Arc 3.0 that might make hunters immortal in PvE. First of all, the amplified buff gives a sizable PvE damage resist while sprinting. You also can get amplified a few different ways, but by default, you will always be able to get it by rapidly defeating targets with any arc damage, which is not too hard with an infinitely charged melee attack build that one-shots enemies, or just using an arc weapon. The flow state aspect says defeating a jolted opponent causes you to become amplified, and while you're amplified, the hunter's dodge will recharge faster, and you will become more resistant to damage and have quicker reload times. What about making an opponent jolted? Well, the lethal current aspect says that after dodging, your hunter's melee lunge range will be increased, and their next melee attack jolts the target, creates a damaging lightning aftershock, and in addition to that, hitting a jolted enemy with a melee attack will blind them. We don't know yet if your first punch just kills them. Will that count as killing a jolted enemy? We'll find out soon. And we're not done yet. Spark of Resistance says that when you're surrounded by enemies, the player has increased damage resistance, and we will probably be surrounded a lot while trying to melee combo everything. So let's add it up so far. We've got 100 resilience. We've got 2 resist mods in our chest piece, maybe 3 or more if you count the combo resist mods from the artifact or artifice armor that has an extra slot, but we'll just say 2 mods for simplicity. We've also got the striking light charged with light mod that gives damage resistance while sprinting. Amplified also gives a sizable damage resistance while sprinting, and the flow state aspect gives you even more damage resist while sprinting. And the Spark of Resistance fragment gives damage resist while surrounded. That is 7+ contributions to damage resist. And we didn't even mention that you could use well mods like Reaping and Tenacity to get another 50% damage resist. And we don't even know what the other 10 fragments do yet. So this sounds insane, but it will depend on how much damage resist they are giving and how it will all stack together, along with the duration of Amplified. But I'm betting 171 items in my vault. It's coming out hot, and I really hope it does, because the modifiers in endgame hate close range melee builds. They really do, and they have forever. One thing that's a little odd in the Hunter kit is that disorienting blow still exists. And let me explain why I find that weird. Disorienting blow states that it blinds opponents with a devastating palm attack while also now amplifying the hunter. But the lethal current aspect and the flow state aspect combined with using combination blow do the same thing but give you higher damage. Now, let's go through that. Lethal current states, after dodging, the hunter's melee lunge range is increased and their next melee attack jolts the target, and it also says that hitting a jolted enemy with a melee attack will blind them. Flow state says that if you defeat a jolted opponent, you become amplified. So basically, with combination blow, you're gonna dodge near your enemies anyways to get your combination blow melee back up. You're gonna punch them, which with lethal current is gonna make it so they're jolted, and then you're gonna punch them again because you're probably gonna use Liar's Handshake, which makes your second punch even stronger. So they're gonna be jolted, your second punch is just gonna kill them probably, and if it doesn't, it's gonna blind them, and you're gonna kill them eventually, and they will cause you to become amplified. So with both of those aspects in combination blow, you're gonna get the same effects, but with an increasing melee damage, as well as a full dodge refund when you kill something with combination blow. The only difference is that disorienting blow happens immediately, and combination blow with these aspects gets the same effects in basically 2 or 3 seconds, which is not really a bad price to pay to have increased melee damage. I really think that's how it's gonna play out in PvE. We'll see. It's almost here, or it is here, depending on when you're watching this. The real purpose for disorienting blow is probably literally just for the Crucible, in my opinion, because you punch a Guardian, they'll be blind, you'll become amplified, and you can kill them and start zooming around with the amplified buff. We'll see. I'm pretty sure you're probably gonna have disorienting blow on almost 100% of the time in the Crucible, and you'll have combination blow on basically 100% of the time in PvE. On a different note, there's a fragment that makes your grenades jolt enemies, and Jolt states that jolted opponents who are damaged will periodically send slivers of chain lightning out to nearby enemies. So it basically makes me wonder, what if skip grenades that you throw out that end up hitting the same target constantly cause chain lightning to come out from them because of the jolt? I don't know. It sounds kind of cute. Here's our conclusion. For PvE, we're gonna have lots of damage resist options, but it will depend on how much damage resist each of them give and how they stack together. Also, Liar's Handshake was made for this rework. It's gonna be insane, I think. And maybe Assassin's Cowl to go invisible on powered melee final blows might be pretty cool too. Maybe Lucky Raspberry, but literally all the other arc related exotics, they're kind of meh, honestly. In PvP, the Tempest Strike aspect probably won't get much play unless it has 3 fragment slots and the other aspects only have 1 or 2, or if Tempest Strike maybe just nearly one-shots people, then maybe people will be using it. Otherwise, you're going to be having disorienting blow on, because you see, you'll be able to use the Gambler's Dodge with Gemini Jester to do a dodge near an opponent, be off their radar, you'll get your melee energy, you'll go disorienting blow them, they'll be blind, you'll be able to punch them again, kill them, you'll become amplified basically all the time thanks to lethal current and flow state. I mean, depending on how long amplified lasts, which we don't know yet. Also, I'm assuming flow state's additional amplified damage resist works only with PvE, since the amplified buff itself mentions PvE only, and the flow state aspect just says more resistant to damage. If Arc 3.0 doesn't have a GM or day 1 raid worthy build, then let me know and I'll delete 171 god rolls. If you didn't see, I made 25 predictions about the Bungie reveal event, so go check out this video if you want to see if I'm right, and also let me know what some of your predictions are or were, depending on when you watch this video. And I think that should probably be good. I forgot to mention that 1-2 punch will be insane, but they probably already know that.